Hey everyone, it's Gos in the world, and this is another video of our channel. So today we're gonna talk about a very sensitive subject, something that I myself had to go through. It was hard, but we're not gonna talk about me today. We're gonna talk about other stories, and we're gonna discuss about coming out, and we're gonna see loads of confessions from the application Whisper, and also 2 stories that have been sent directly to me on Reddit. Are you ready? Let's go! I was all stressed out to tell my best friend I'm gay. And then right after, we started looking at hot guys together. To be honest, I have the same experience. With my best friend, we also started making code names to describe different types of men. Oops! Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I was at a concert tonight, and the artist asked, "Who's a part of the LGBT plus community?" I yelled, "Me!" That's how I came out to my mom. One of the best ways to come out. It could be cool to know the response, but that's what the confessor said. When I came out on Twitter, the one person who I did not want to find out read my tweet. I didn't want him to know because he was harassed by a gay guy in school. He was harassed by a gay guy? That's something you don't usually hear, and I suppose if that guy found out that the confessor was gay, maybe a relationship could change, maybe he would avoid him. But now he found out anyway, so I suppose the best thing for the confessor is to talk to the other person and just show him that not every gay guy is gonna harass him. So, I came out to my mom some years ago, and she said she's totally fine with it. But when I tell her things about the girls I used to date, she acts the opposite way. Like, "Don't tell me!" It hurts. I know that they're not always happy with who we love or who we like. And maybe let's just give them time. That's what they need. That's what we needed when we came out, or before we came out. So let's give them time. I'm never gonna get drunk because I'm afraid I'll accidentally come out. I had the same thoughts before I came out, and when I started coming out to people, at some point I got really drunk and I wasn't really sure if I actually came out to someone or not the next day, and he was a very good friend of mine, so now I'm not sure if I actually came out to him then or later on, like many months later. Well, he acted like he didn't know anything, so I suppose I didn't, but maybe he just hid it. Anyway, my coming out was the funniest shit going. My mom found my gay-ass secret Instagram and was watching it for months as I posted the gayest shit posts going. Oops! I told my friend I was gay. She said she liked me, and she doesn't even believe I'm telling the truth. But worst of all, the first thing she said after I told was, "You need Jesus," the confessor's name. "I need some advice." Religions many times hurt us because people don't contemplate it correctly. For me, if you believe in Jesus, Jesus loves you in any way possible, and that's why he made you this way. I came out to my family as transgender, and my grandma's exact words were, "Use your birth name or don't come to Christmas dinner." I packed my stuff up and went to my friend's house. was one of my biggest fears when I came out to my family. It's one of the worst things to happen. I just want you to know that you are loved. Okay? If it's not your grandma, from someone else loves you, you are loved. And if you see this video, if you want someone to talk to, please contact me. When I told my mom I was bisexual, she said she accepted me. When I started dating a girl, she forced me out to the whole family. I was not ready. You can never force the other people out of the closet. Never, ever, ever. You never know when the other person is ready to come out, and it's such a sensitive subject, such a thin line to walk. You need to do it on your own, in your own time. If I want to talk about that girl's mother, maybe she didn't know she made such a huge mistake, and I hope she's over it now, and the confessor is fine with your mom. Maybe she wanted to make her feel better, make her feel more comfortable. Who knows? When I came out to my parents as bisexual, we had a long talk on the phone. Basically, love becomes conditional once your child opens up as bi. That hits close to my heart, because I had a long conversation with my parents after I came out. I felt the same way as a confessor, that our love was conditional, but time was all they wanted and all they needed, and all I gave them were in a much better place now. Give them time. That's the best advice I can give. Give them time. My older brother came out as gay, and my whole family, apart from me, disowned him. I don't want the same thing to happen to me. 17, female, lesbian. Why do people do this? Why do families disown their kids for who they love? It's not a fucking crime, it's who they love. For fuck's sake. Never be afraid to love whoever you want, okay? We need to be strong, and people will realize that it's not a fucking mistake if they disowned your brother. Be economically independent and then come out to them. So if the same happens, to you, you could continue your life without them until they realize that you're the same person and you haven't changed. Let's go to the Reddit confessions now. We see that many people come out and they have a smooth way to go, but others, like the last confessor, get disowned, which is one of the worst things to happen. Fortunately, it didn't happen to me, and I hope it didn't happen to you as well. I come from a very religious family. We attend church every Sunday. When we help around our church, sometimes or almost every day of the week. I began to feel different, and I knew that because of my religious family, Catholic. I couldn't say anything to anyone about my sexuality. Fast forward 6+ years or so, I met this chick who I fell in love with. Because of her, and of course for me, I came out to my parents. They told me they knew for a while and that they don't like what I'm doing, but it is my life. My sister said that my mom cried a couple times after I told her. But now they ask about my girl and they're fine when she stays over my house. They love me for who I am and I am happy about that. I thought I was gonna get disowned and sent to therapy to get me out of this, but nah. I'm happy for you. We see that many religious people react differently So if you feel like you're safe, do come out. And watching your mother crying about something that you're not to blame and you can't change is one of the worst feelings in the world. Watching your mom crying because she's not proud about you. It's indescribable. Let's keep going. I'm happy that the confessor had a nice ending. Let's go to the last coming out story for today. I first came out to my friend James the day after the election. We were grumbling at 5 in the morning about Trump when he said we should change the subject. I replied, I think my gender switches sometimes. To be fair, James took it in stride, and it was hands down the best coming out I had. I told my little sister on my birthday that I was transitioning and had been on estrogen for a month. She looked shell-shocked, but said she loved me. The next day, she sent me a text about how she couldn't accept me and would not respect my identity. That was 6 months ago, and the last time I heard from her. But the story isn't over. You see, she outed me to my parents. She told them I was doing something stupid and they should have been worried about me. They forced me to drive to their home and come out to them. I told them it was good news, but they yelled at me. My mom called me a pervert and a deviant. My dad said that my thoughts were planted by the liberal media. They tried to gaslight me by telling me of my own memories, but twisting them. When I didn't resign my coming out, they kicked me out. I cried on my friend Adam's shoulder about how I felt like an orphan because my parents were stripped away from me. Later, I saw a joke, trans girl coming out bingo, online, and I got 6 bingos from that one night. It was an utter nightmare. My parents went from loving me to hating me to my core. All people have conditions to their love, usually it's reasonable. I love you if you're not a murderer, not a rapist, not a wife beater, not a child abuser. I found the conditions to my parents' love. It turns out the condition was don't exist. Every time I'm reading this story, it's so hard to hold back my tears. How can parents, how can people, how can her sister, how can people who love you hate you just for who you are? They gave birth to you, they raised you, they made you who you are. So how can they hate you for something so simple? Something that is like, it's who you want to be. You don't want to be a boy like you were born. So what? So fucking what? What's the problem with that? You don't want to be a girl, you don't want to love a girl. If you're a boy, you don't want to love a boy. If you're a girl, so what? Do you hurt anyone? Do you change the life of everyone around you? No fucking hell! You don't! So why is this hard for people to love you for who you are? Maybe they don't love you. Maybe they never did. I can't believe it. I believe they do. Like these parents say that these ideas were planted by liberal media in your mind. It's religions or whoever the fuck you met in your life that planted these homophobic ideas in your head. Please love your kids unconditionally. That's all for today. Let me know your coming out stories in the comments down below. If you liked this video, click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. I hope to see you soon. Have a nice day. Bye bye.